Hello, Attorney Van Stallings again. I have tonight for you 7 of the biggest mistakes that I see people making in estate planning. They're easily avoided, but especially in consultation with a good estate planning attorney, these mistakes can be avoided, and they should be, but you might not if you don't have good help. So, listen in. The first one, not knowing what's in the plan. You may have a beautiful plan, it may be in a beautiful book, and everything looks nice, but if you do not know what's in the plan, if you don't understand how it works, you're going to miss achieving a lot of what you wanted to achieve. One of the biggest things you're not getting if you don't know how the plan works is that you're not getting the peace of mind that it will in fact work. And that's a big part of what we do here and what we sell to you is peace of mind. Peace of mind in knowing what your estate plan is reflective of your desires and wishes. Number 2, you have outdated beneficiary designations on like 401ks, insurance policies, IRAs. These are things that, if they're not in sync with the overall plan, are really going to throw things off because your beneficiary designations, if they're not up to date or if they don't reflect the overall plan, they're really going to mess things up, especially if you have a very clear plan that you're trying to establish with treating people in a certain way, maybe even equally, and that may throw everything off in regard to that. So out-of-date beneficiary designations, that's number 2. Number 3, not updating asset ownership. We hold our assets in a lot of different ways. We share assets and the ownership thereof with other people, especially spouses and other family members. If we don't keep that up to date and it doesn't, again, stay in sync with our overall estate plan, we may throw everything off by the fact that one asset is titled in a way that it shouldn't be titled. We have to keep that, and that's an overall part of the estate planning process. Number 4, one of the most frequent things that I see is people pay a lot to set up revocable living trust. Again, they have a beautiful book and they may know something about how it works, but it won't work at all if it doesn't own assets. So one of the biggest mistakes is that people make is to not fund their trust. So you have to put things in it in order for it to be able to give them to people. If it doesn't own those things, then your beneficiaries are going to be left out in regard to that trust and its directives. So you have to have the trust to own things. Number 5, not coordinating trust and retirement plans. This often happens where you're going to have the trust doing something and your retirement plans do a lot different things. That ties into the beneficiary designation. It ties to a lot of things. But a lot of people, other than their primary residence, their biggest asset is their retirement plan. And if they're not properly aligning those with their desires that they've laid out in the trust, then they're going to find that their desires are not going to be met. So that's another really big mistake that people make is not aligning those really big asset bases that they have. Number 6 is not updating powers of attorney. These can be medical powers of attorney, financial powers of attorney. There's lots of different types, but they want to achieve certain things. And if we don't keep our handle on those, if we don't know what's in them, and if we don't keep them up to date, then they're not going to do what we want. And that's a very important part of your overall estate plan, is having effective and up-to-date powers of attorney, both for medical and financial matters. Now, the last one, and hopefully going quickly again here, is the biggest mistake that I often see is just not updating the plan at all. If the plan's funded, if it's well set up, if everything's right, but if realities are changing, if circumstances are changing, and those are not reflected in the plan, then you're going to, again, find your desires to be stifled. So we tried to go a little faster tonight, wanted to give you information in a quicker form, but those are some of the 7 biggest mistakes that I see being made. They're unnecessary, they can be easily avoided. If you'd like help with that, we can certainly do that. We want to give you peace of mind in regard to your estate plans. Thanks so much for your time.